Hello everyone, I am Krooked, and this is Unscripted, where I take an unscripted look at video games and give them a 1 through 10 rating based on what I think of it. The reason why it's unscripted is because I'm literally playing it as we go through this. Oh, that's nice. There's no background music here, so you probably noticed that there was some. Even though it's unscripted and mostly unedited, it just felt wrong to not have the intro here. So, let's get started and let's see about Goof Troop. It was a great day for fishing in Spoonerville, so Goofy and his son, Max, headed out to the ocean with their boats. We're not in this for the story. It does have a story. I'm going to play as Goofy, because I'm a little bit of a Goofy guy. So, this game is legendary. Like, I've heard from so many people that this game is it. Like, just a great game. And Goofy puts his hands up in the air, saying, "Ayo." I haven't really played this much, so I don't know much about the legend of Goof Troop. But, you know, that's kind of the fun things about this, is going to a game, especially for the first time, and seeing, hey, is this going to be something that's awesome, that everyone's going to love, or is this a game that you had to be there at the time? Which, that happens a lot. There are a ton of games that were probably fantastic when they came out. However, that was a long time ago, and not all of them have aged really super. Fine. When that does happen, you just kind of move on and go, well, I had good memories with that game when it was around. So far, I mean, this is pretty much a game. It's kind of puzzly. There's enemies to beat. It looks really good. If you grew up in the 90s with Goof Troop, this is probably something that immediately looks familiar. You're just like, yeah, I recognize the characters. It's not really a setting that I recognize from the show specifically, but it's close enough to the show for me to just be like, yeah, I know this. Okay, so I can't do anything with that. So I still can't go and do stuff there. It's also multiplayer, which back in the 90s, I used to hate the fact that a lot of games weren't multiplayer. I just wanted to play games with my friends, or really, I wanted to play a game where I could play and my brother couldn't just take over and then not let me play. Because I was a younger brother, and that always means, you know, I'm player 2, which sucks if there is no player 2. Eventually, you know, he got out of video games, so it kind of worked out in my favor, but it still is pretty nice to see something that's multiplayer, because I like to play with Fichu, my wife, for any of you who don't know, and she likes to play games too, but more often than not, she doesn't like to try new games because she doesn't think she's very good at them. And if I'm able to convince her, hey, you should play this game because I'm going to play it, then she'll play it. So any game that's multiplayer, that's like an automatic, yeah, that's a good thing. I want it in my life. The sound quality in this is pretty good. I mean, this is a catchy little beat. I'm not sure if it's anything that you're going to remember after playing the game, but it's a lot better than a lot of other games. Of course, it doesn't have the staying power that, like, any of the songs from Aladdin or Lion King have. But this is also a different era of game, and it's also a different budget of game. You're not, you know, making a multi-million-dollar game. Well, probably not multi-million-dollar back then. But you're not making, like, a movie licensed game off of Goofy and his son. You're making a fun play game at home. Play game, yes. Although, I do also have to say, this is made by Capcom. So it's not like a no-name company that made this. Pretty big deal, especially this time, because I believe during this time they already had Mega Man under their belt. I believe they had Mega Man X under their belt too. And the quality of it really shines through. Like, having no knowledge of it, you might not guess that this is a Disney game. You'd be like, okay, who designed this? Because, I've played Disney games and they're not this. And then when you see Capcom at the beginning, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that actually makes perfect sense. This is 100% something that I would see Capcom doing. And it's a good time. There's a lot of game here. And I can tell there's a lot of game here. Because it has elements that longer games have, where you have to explore and there's enemies to get around. You have to go find items and you have to go off of like little hints that you're given, and there's nothing that I could dig up there, which that doesn't make sense. Yeah, I didn't find a hidden anything, bud, but that's fine. And yeah, so it sounds good. The game looks good. I don't know what I'm supposed to use the bell for. I think I can put this plank in water? Maybe? I can shoot that, and Goofy has a weird look on his face when I do. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. I'm sure I would if I went and, actually talked to things. But, yeah. This is Goof Troop. And, honestly, it reminds me of the show Goof Troop. Which is great. I think that's what this game is supposed to do. I just learned that you can also pick those up and throw them that way. And it's fun. It's fun. It's multiplayer. You'll get quite some time of entertainment out of it. I mean, it's a lot of exploration, which is why I'm just like trying to half focus on the game. I didn't know I could dig these up twice. And at the other side of it, it's something that you can play with your kid, your wife, your friend. You can, just sit down and have an old school couch co-op game with this and have a good time with it. So when it comes to rating for Goof Troop, I know I haven't gotten very far in the game, and it is likely a very, very long game. I would give this a solid 7. No, I changed my mind already. I would give this an 8. And the reason why is this is just, it seems like everything you want it to be in a game. Wow. I just put this together. So I have this board, and there's a board spot there, so I need to go down here. It has challenge, but it's not too challenging. It has multiplayer that apparently is drop in, drop out, given the fact that it's saying push start in the upper right-hand corner. It's a challenging game to learn where you're going. But, I mean, the enemies aren't the hardest ever. There's plenty of drops, and it's made by Capcom. This is a solid 8 game, without any doubt in my mind. And if you want to play it, it's pretty expensive. I would probably recommend playing it through an emulator. But, play it however you want to. And either way, have fun. Let me know what you think about the game. When you see this, I'm going to be hanging out in Disneyland, probably with Goofy, wearing a Goofy hat. So, have fun. And take it as it is with 8 out of 10. And with that, also comment down below. Let me know if there's any games that you want to see me play. There's a whole bunch of things out there for me to play, and a lot of it relies on you letting me know, hey, play this, and I will. So, yeah, thanks for everyone for tuning in, and I will see you next time on Unscripted.